Hello viewers and dear students, in this video I'll solve the questions of section C sample paper of CBSE class 12 applied mathematics of term 1 session 2021-22. So the 41st question of the term 1 sample question paper, or the first question in section C. A retailer buys 250 kg of rice, a part of which he sells at the 10% profit and the remaining at 5% loss. If the net profit made by the retailer in the whole transaction is 7%, then the quantity of rice sold at 10% profit is. Options are 200 kg, 150 kg, 100 kg and 50 kg. So here it is given, a retailer buys 250 kg of rice and some quantity of rice he sells at a profit of 10% and the remaining at a loss of 5%. And it is also given the net profit made by the retailer is 7%. Now we have to find the quantity of rice sold at 10% profit. So this is a question from allegation or mixture. So we have to use the cross to find the ratio of cheaper quantity is to dearer quantity. So here from the information which is given here C is equal to minus 5% because the cheaper rice he sells at 5% loss, and then the dearer rice means he sells at profit of 10%. So D is equal to 10%, and in this whole transaction he makes a net profit of 7%. So M is equal to 7%. So if we draw the cross, so we have C here, D here and M here. C is minus 5%, D is 10% and M is 7%. So here we have D minus M. So D minus M is 10 minus 7, which is 3%, and here we have M minus C. So M minus C, it is 7 minus of minus 5, so it is equal to 12%. So if we have this side, it is the proportion of the cheaper quantity and this side is the proportion of the dearer quantity. So the ratio of cheaper quantity to dearer quantity is given by 3% is to 12%. So this is equal to 3 is to 12, or it is equal to 1 is to 4. If we simplify, we get it is equal to 1 is to 4. So the quantity of rice which is sold at profit of 10%, it is equal to 4 upon 4 plus 1, 5 into the total quantity, 250 kg. So it is 4 upon 5 into 250, or it is equal to 200 kg. So the correct option is option A. So this is a question of allegation or mixture. So using this cross, we are given C is minus 5% and D is 10%, M is 7%. So if we draw this cross here, we will have M minus C, it is 7 minus of minus 5, 12, and here we will have D minus M, which is 10 minus 7, that is 3%. So the cheaper quantity is to dearer quantity. We have this side the cheaper quantity, proportion cheaper quantity, and this side the proportion of dearer quantity. So cheaper quantity is to dearer quantity is 3 is to 12. So 3 is to 12 is equal to 1 is to 4. So the quantity of rice sold at 10% profit is 4 upon 4 plus 1, 4 by 5 into the total quantity 250. So the correct option is option A. The next question, two pipes A and B can fill a cistern in 8 hours and 12 hours respectively. the pipes when opened simultaneously takes 12 minutes more to fill the cistern due to leakage. Once the cistern is full, it will get emptied due to leakage in. The various options are given here. So it is given two pipes A and B. It can fill a cistern in 8 hours. A can fill the cistern in 8 hours and B can fill the cistern in 12 hours. When the two pipes are opened simultaneously, it takes 12 minutes extra to fill the cistern because of some leakage. Now we need to find the time required for the leakage to empty the entire cistern. So here it is given A can fill the cistern in 8 hours. So part of the cistern filled by A in 1 hour will be 1 by 8. And then it is also given B can fill the cistern in 12 hours. It means part of the cistern filled by B in 1 hour will be 1 by 12. So part of the cistern filled by both in 1 hour will be sum of these two. So it is equal to 1 by 8 plus 1 by 12, or it is equal to, if we take the LCM as 24, we get 3 plus 2 by 12. 3 plus 2 by 24, or it is equal to 5 by 24. So part of the cistern which is filled by both A and B in 1 hour is 5 by 24. So time taken by both the pipes to fill the cistern will be 1 by this. So it is 24 by 5 hours. Or it is equal to 4 hours into 4 by 5 into 60 minutes. 4 hours plus, So it is equal to 4 hours 48 minutes. Now it is given because of the leakage, it takes 12 minutes more to fill the cistern. So time taken to fill the cistern due to leakage, it will be 4 hours 48 minutes plus 12 minutes. This is there as an example in the student support material on pipes and cisterns. And the previous question is also similar question is given as an example in the student support material. So time taken to fill the cistern due to leakage will be 4 hours 48 minutes plus 12 minutes. So this is equal to 5 hours. So we can see that the net work which is done by the pipes and the leakage in 1 hour, it will be 1 by 5. So this is equal to 1 by 5. Now from this we can find, here it is given, here we have found part of the cistern filled by both in 1 hour is 5 by 24, and the total work done by the pipes and leakage in 1 hour is 1 by 5. So work done by the leakage in 1 hour, it will be equal to 5 by 24 minus 1 by 5, or it is equal to 25 minus 24 upon 120, or this is equal to 1 by 120. So from this we can find time taken by leakage to empty the cistern. So time taken by leakage to empty the cistern will be reciprocal of this, or it is equal to 120 hours. So the correct option is option D. So based on the information which is given, we have found time taken by both the pipes to fill the cistern, and we got it is equal to 4 hours 48 minutes. It is given because of the leakage, it takes additional 12 minutes to fill the cistern. So time taken to fill the cistern due to leakage will be the sum of this and 12 minutes, which is equal to 5 hours. So the net work done by pipes and leakage in 1 hour will be 1 by 5. From this we can find the work done by leakage in 1 hour. So work done by leakage in 1 hour will be 5 by 24 minus 1 by 5. So the time taken by the leakage to empty the cistern is equal to 120 hours. The next question, the demand function of a toy is x is equal to 75 minus 3p, and its total cost function is TC is equal to 100 plus 3x. For maximum profit, the value of X is. The various options are given here. So here the demand function is given and the total cost function is given. We have to find the value of X for maximum profit. So the demand function here, it is given in terms of, it is given X is equal to 75 minus 3P. So from this, let us write it in terms of P. 3P is equal to 75 minus X, or P is equal to 25 minus X by 3. So we can write the demand function in this way also. So now revenue function R of X is given by P into X. So it is equal to 25X minus X squared by 3. Then the total cost function C of X is given here. It is 100 plus 3X. Now profit function P of X is given by R of X minus C of X, or it is equal to 25X minus X squared by 3 minus 100 minus 3X. So it is equal to 22X minus X squared by 3 minus 100. Now we have to maximize this profit function. So to maximize, P of X is equal to 22X minus X squared by 3 minus 100. So this is a simple problem of finding the point of local maxima. Now at the critical points, we know P dash of X is equal to 0. So P dash of X equal to 0, it implies we have to differentiate this with respect to X. 22 minus 2X by 3 equal to 0. Or from this we have 22 is equal to 2X by 3, or X is equal to 33. From this we get X is equal to 33. Now let us find P double dash of X and check whether it is negative. So P double dash of X will be the derivative of this function. We have to differentiate this function with respect to X. So P double dash of X equal to minus 2 by 3. This is less than 0. So X is equal to 33. It is a point of local maxima. It is a point of local maxima. So for maximum profit, the value of X is 33. So the correct option is option A. So this is the correct option. So here the demand function is given and the total cost function is given. We have to find the maximum profit. We have to find the value of X for maximum profit. So based on the demand function, we have written demand function in terms of P is equal to 25 minus X by 3, and from that we found the revenue function as P into X. We got 25X minus X squared by 3, and then the total cost function is given here. From this we can find the profit function as revenue function minus cost function. So we have to maximize this function, 22X minus X squared by 3 minus 100. At the critical points, P dash of X equal to 0. So we get X is equal to 33 and P double dash of X is also less than 0. So for maximum profit, the value of X is 33. The next question, a river passing near a town floods it on an average of twice every 10 years. Assuming Poisson distribution, find the probability that the town faces flooding at least once in 10 years. So here it is given, it is already given, it is a Poisson distribution and the river floods on an average of twice every 10 years. We have to find the probability that the town faces flooding at least once in 10 years. So here lambda equal to 2 and X follows Poisson distribution with lambda is equal to 2. Now we need to find probability of X greater than or equal to 1. So here it is asked, find the probability that the town faces flooding at least once in 10 years. So we need to find probability of x greater than or equal to 1. So here it is given lambda is equal to 2 and x follows Poisson distribution with lambda is equal to 2. So we have probability of x is equal to k is equal to e raised to minus lambda raised to k upon k factorial. Here we need to find probability of x greater than or equal to 1. Probability of x greater than or equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus probability of x less than 1, or it is equal to 1 minus probability of x equal to 0, or it is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus 2 raised to 0 by 0 factorial. Now using the Poisson distribution table for lambda is equal to 2. So here it is given lambda is equal to 2. So for lambda is equal to 2 and x is equal to 0, the value is 0.1353. So this is equal to probability of x is equal to 0 is 0.1353. So this is equal to 1 minus 0.1353, or it is equal to 0.8647. So the correct option is option B. So based on the information which is given, we can find that lambda is equal to 2 and x follows Poisson distribution with lambda is equal to 2. We need to find probability of x greater than or equal to 1, or it is equal to 1 minus probability of x less than 1. So here it is equal to 1 minus probability of x is equal to 0. So for lambda equal to 2 and x equal to 0, we have the value as using the Poisson distribution table 0.1353. So 1 minus 0.1353 is 0.8647. So the correct option is option D. The next question, the height of certain species of plant is normally distributed with mean is equal to 20 centimeter and standard deviation of 4 centimeter. What is the probability that the height of a plant chosen at random lies between 10 centimeter and 30 centimeter? So here it is given the height of certain species of a plant is normally distributed with mean mu is equal to 20 and standard deviation sigma is equal to 4. We need to find the probability that the height of the plant chosen at random lies between 10 centimeter and 30 centimeter. So we need to find probability of 10 less than x less than 30. So here x follows normal, mu comma sigma. Now we know that the z score is calculated as z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So this probability of 10 less than x less than 30, this is equal to probability of 10 minus mu by sigma less than x minus mu by sigma less than 30 minus mu by sigma, or it is equal to probability of mu is 20. So 10 minus 20 by sigma is 4 less than, this is z, less than z less than 30 minus 20 by 4, or this is equal to probability of, here 10 minus 20 by 4 is minus 10 by 4, so it is minus 2.5. So it is equal to probability of minus 2.5 less than z less than 2.5. Now this is equal to probability of z less than 2.5 minus probability of z less than minus 2.5. So using the z score table, we can find the values of probability of z less than 2.5 and probability of z less than minus 2.5. When we substitute the values, we will get the answer. So using the z score table, here probability of z less than 2.5, it is 0.9938, and probability of z less than minus 2.5, it is 0.0062. So this is equal to 0.9938 minus 0.0062. So this is equal to 0.9876. So the correct option is option C, 0.9876. So based on information which is given, we found the z-score for 10 and 30, and using that, probability of 10 less than x less than 30 will be probability of minus 2.5 less than z less than 2.5. And so using the z-score table and substituting the values, we will get the answer as 0.9876. The next we have the case study. The economy of a state is composed of various sectors. To understand the basic concept, we consider two sectors: coal mining, sector 1, and utilities, sector 2. The coal mining produces coal and utilities produces electricity. Assuming that these products are measured by their rupee value, by 1 unit of product we mean 1 rupee worth of that product. To produce 1 rupee worth of coal, the coal mining sector uses rupees 0.50 of coal and rupees 0.10 of electricity. To produce rupee 1 worth of electricity, the utility sector uses 0.25 rupees of coal and 0.25 rupees of electricity. Based on the above information, answer the following questions. So here it is given, an economy is composed of various sectors, and to understand the concept, only two sectors are considered: coal mining and utilities. And coal mining produces coal and utilities produces electricity. And here, to produce 1 rupee worth of coal, the coal mining sector uses rupees 0.50 of coal and rupees 10 of electricity. To produce rupee 1 worth of electricity, the utilities sector uses 0.25 rupees of coal and 0.25 rupees of electricity. So this, based on the above information, we have to answer the following question. The question is, the technology coefficient matrix A is. The various options are given here. So based on information is given, we can use Leontief input-output model. And first let us draw the table. Here it is directly given, to produce rupee 1 worth of coal, the coal mining sector uses rupees 0.50 of coal and rupees 10 of electricity. So if we consider sector 1 as the coal mining sector and sector 2 as the utility sector, then here we will have 0.50 and here 0.1. And then it is given, to produce rupee 1 worth of electricity, the utility sector uses 0.25 rupees of coal and 0.25 rupees of electricity. So here it is 0.25 and 0.25. So the technology coefficient matrix A, it is directly given here. So the correct option is option B. So this is the correct option. The technology coefficient matrix A is the matrix consisting of these elements: 0.50, 0.10, 0.25, 0.25. Now moving on to the next question. The matrix I minus A, the whole inverse is. These are the various options. Now we have to find the inverse of I minus A. Now we just now found matrix A. So here we have technology matrix, this is A. Now let us find I minus A, the whole inverse. Now I minus A is equal to 1, 0, 0, 1 minus A is 0.50, 0.25, then 0.10, 0.25. Now this is equal to 0.50 minus 0.25, then minus 0.10 and 0.75. Now I minus A, the whole inverse, it is equal to 1 by determinant of I minus A into adjoint of I minus A. So let me continue here. So I minus A, the whole inverse, it is equal to 1 by determinant of A is 0.50 into 0.75 minus 0.25 into 0.10. So it is equal to 0.375 minus 0.025 into adjoint of A. We calculate it as interchanging the diagonal elements and changing the sign of the other elements, since it is a 2 by 2 matrix. So it is 0.75, 0.25, 0.10 and 0.5. Now this is equal to 1 by 0.35 into 0.75, 0.25, 0.10 and 0.5. Now 0.35, it is nothing but it is 7 by 20. So 1 by 0.35 is 20 by 7 into this matrix. Now if we multiply each of these term with 20, then we get this is equal to 1 by 7 into 20 into 0.75, it is 15, 20 into 0.25 is 5, 20 into 0.10 is 2 and 20 into 0.50 it is 10. So the correct option is option C. So we just have to find I minus A the whole inverse. Using this formula we can find the find I minus A the whole inverse. The next question, the system is viable because. So this is, we have to see whether Hawkins-Simon conditions are satisfied. The system will be viable when determinant of I minus A is greater than 0 and the diagonal elements of I minus A are greater than 0. So here we can see that determinant of I minus A, we get it as 0.35, it is greater than 0 and the diagonal elements of I minus A are also greater than 0. So it is viable because of this option, option B. The next question, if there is external demand worth rupees 7,000 of coal and rupees 14,000 of electricity, then production of two sectors to meet the demand is. The various options are given here. So here it is given, if the external demand is given by 7,000 rupees of coal and 14,000 rupees of electricity, then we need to find the production of two sectors, production level of two sectors. So here it is given D is equal to 7,000 and 14,000. Now we need to find X. We know X is equal to I minus A the whole inverse into D. So we just now calculated I minus A the whole inverse. So I minus A the whole inverse is 1 by 7 into this matrix 15, 5 to 10. So it is 1 by 7 into 15, 5 to 10 into this matrix D, 7,000, 14,000. So here we can divide 7,000 by 7 and 14,000 by 7, we get 1,000 and 2,000. So this is equal to 15, 5 to 10 into 1,000, 2,000. So if we simplify this, we will get the answer. Or this is equal to 15 into 1,000 plus 5 into 2,000, then 2 into 1,000 plus 10 into 2,000. So this is equal to 25,000 and 22,000. Now here the first row, it corresponds to sector 1. So this is coal and this is electricity. So the correct option is option A. 25,000 rupees of coal and 22,000 rupees of electricity. So for this question, we need to find x as I minus a the whole inverse into d. The demand is given 7,000 rupees and 14,000 rupees. So it is given here. So using x is equal to I minus a the whole inverse into d, we get x is equal to this matrix 25,000 and 22,000. It means the production of two sectors to meet the demand is 25,000 rupees of coal and 22,000 rupees of electricity. The next question, how much worth of coal and electricity is used internally? So we need to find the internal consumption of coal and electricity. Now we know internal consumption is equal to total production minus external demand. So we just now calculated total production as 25,000 and 22,000, and external demand, it was given as 7,000 and 14,000. So this is equal to 25,000 minus 7,000, 18,000, 22,000 minus 14,000, it is 8,000. So the internal consumption is 18,000 of rupees 18,000 of coal and rupees 8,000 of electricity. So the correct option is option D. So the internal consumption is given by total production minus external demand, and we get the correct answer as 18,000 rupees of coal and 8,000 rupees of electricity. I hope this video was useful for you. I have made videos on the section A and B part of the sample paper of term 1 applied mathematics. I wish all the students all the best for the forthcoming exams. Thank you for watching.